series called Sneaky Link. I'm more than a sneaky link. I require phone calls, good morning texts, flowers, and dates. Oh, if that's not enough for you, I'll give you 2 options. Come correct or get the fuck out my face. And I don't care what I allowed in the past. The woman I am today can't relate. You see, I'm more than a sneaky link. Heart-shaped emojis all up in my DMs, writing me essays about how fine and chocolate I am and everything you would love to do, but I checked my profile, not one like, not one comment from you. I guess public displays of your affection makes you uncomfortable, which is funny because you sent me a picture of your erection even before you knew my name. You said you was a fan of my work, that you love my poetry, but if you really watched my last couple of videos, you would know that I hate that shit. And I said it before, clearly you have a problem with your comprehension, so let me say this again. I'm more than the plumpiness of my tits. Did you see some of my ass and what is in between my thighs? So let me get this straight. You think you gonna tap this ass when you can't even double tap a pic? Truth be told, without a meaning of a mind, you can't even get her wet. Fuck you still doing in my DM for? You didn't get it through your thick skull yet. You see, I'm more than a sneaky link. Meaning, if you don't think enough of me to text me throughout the day, don't text me after 10 p.m. asking me what I'm doing. I'm in bed, legs closed, being the child of God that Spencer and Marlene raised. You know, my biggest problem with you niggas of the day? Number 1, you don't know how to date. Half of y'all are crappy lay. Always accuse a female of wanting you for your money when you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. Always so quick to pull little Johnny out. But what's your status? When the last time you got tested? When the last time you even saw a PCP walking around looking like a walking STD? What I'm going to need you to do is stay the farther distance away from me. Now, typically, I'm not a bitch. And I really don't mean any disrespect. But if you think you ever have a chance of getting with Nick, I'm going to need you to learn how to come correct. So today, we're talking about the season that is among us. The temperature is dropping. DMs are getting flooded because yet again we find ourselves in cuffing season. Cuffing season is a season where everybody wants to pop back up, ill intentions or not, because everybody wants to suddenly get into this relationship because they want someone to snuggle with these cold and chilly winter nights. They want to get into these relationships without any purpose. They want to get into these relationships just for the sake of having a relationship, but not the sake of building anything, not in the sake of adding something to someone's life, but just to say that I'm not single and to have a warm body in bed. And I ain't for that. Not at all. If you know me, I'm all about self-love. I'm a self-love poet. Shy girl, former shy girl who found her voice through poetry and now uses her poetry to help other people find their voice. So everything I do is purposeful, right? And down to the relationships that I have is purposeful. They have to add something of some type of value. And I'm not talking about monetary value because I make a pretty good living at my job. So I have my own bag, so I don't need yours. Period. But in the same token, is like, what are you adding to my life? Like, are you here as a distraction, or are you here to add something of value? We're talking about cuffing season on tonight. And the first thing about like dating and getting to know someone as a friend is like you have to set boundaries of what you want. And that's what Sinking Link is all about. Some people, they're in a season of their life, all they want is someone to lay in bed. The only thing they want is someone to have sex with. They're looking for a sex buddy. So if that's you, I'm not here to judge you. Do you, boo. But I don't want you to get into like a sex or a fuck buddy type of relationship if you know deep down inside that you want something more. If you know deep down inside that isn't going to be sufficient enough. And that's what Sneaking Link is about. Like, you can set boundaries, right? And people always look at boundaries, boundaries, that whole type of word has such a negative connotation, but it's not. It's actually not negative. Like, boundaries are a good thing. Like, we always talking about how we're queens and we're kings, we come from royalty, but then we allow people to treat us like we're peasants. We allow people to treat us any type of way because we just want the sake of having someone. And setting boundaries let people know how to treat you, let people know, and both friendship, both platonic and romantic relationships let you know what you're going to allow and not. And it's like, it's important to set these boundaries early on in a relationship, so all of a sudden you're not like a year in and the person is surprised about what you would not allow, is surprised about what is upsetting you. And I feel like sometimes us as females, we be so fearful to set boundaries because we're fearful that we're going to chase that person away. But if setting a boundary is going to chase that person away, then clearly that person isn't meant to be in your life and meant to be around you. Because anyone who has a problem with the boundaries that I set, be it platonic or romantic, like, you're not meant to be in my circle. And we're so scared, and we want these large circles, these large entourage of people, when half of the people in there are plotting for your demise. Like, half of the people in there, you can't even call an emergency. And I remember, because I thought I had all the friends in the world. I thought I had all the friends in the world, because when I was looking for someone to turn out what, I had friends. But now it's like, when I have a book signing and I have stuff in regards to my business, I see how many of my friends are really true friends and how many people are just turning people. And it's okay, like, it's okay to put people, like, to categorize people in your life, because it's like, you have to know the place that someone holds in your life and treat them accountable, and treat them accordingly, so then you're not, disappointed with the way they're acting. People, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I have people who I call if I want to turn up and I want to get lit, I'm going to call them. But if I want to bounce business ideas off of them, they're not going to be the same person that I call. Like, I feel like there's people play different categories and different roles in my life, and that, again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just is like, it is what it is type of situation. But since we're talking about cuffing season, we're talking about dating, like, it's very important to set these boundaries early on. That way you're not find yourself repeating yourself and having the same argument with the person over again. And like, I grew up in the church, I have a church background, so they used to always talk about dating someone that's equally yoked, right? But they used to talk about it in a sense, or maybe they wasn't, but, and when I was growing up, is in the sense, okay, if I'm in the church, I need to date someone that's actually in the church. If I profess to know God and have a relationship with God, I want to date someone who has a relationship with God. But I feel like equal and yoke is so much deeper than that. Equally yoked dating someone who has the same mindset as you. If you're a type of person, you're very focused and on your goals, you want to date someone who's also focused on their goals. Because right now, like, I'm trying to build a legacy. My mind is on building legacy. My mind is on building an empire. And anybody who distracts me from my legacy, who distracts me from building an empire, like, you gotta go, honey. Like, no, like, I have set time for spiritual. I have set time for my mind. I have set time for my body to take care of my body. I have set time to perfect my craft. So if anyone I'm dating doesn't understand that, then you're not really gonna last. Like, if you ask me what I'm doing and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to go into a writing session, and then you're constantly blowing my phone up, or like, oh, let me come see you, or let's do this. It's like, no, like, you have to respect my boundaries. You have to respect that sometimes you're not going to be able to get a hold of me because I'm writing. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get a hold of me because I'm practicing. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get a hold of me because I'm strategizing for my business. And that's just what it is what it is. It's like, yes, I'm going to make time for whoever I'm pursuing, whoever I'm dating. Like, of course, we're gonna have our set time set aside for us, to get to know each other better, to see, like, where this thing is going. But at the end of the day, I also need time for myself. I need time for my son, because I'm a mom and that comes before anything. So like, if you get in the way of me, my motherhood, like, it's an automatically have to go. That's an automatic dub. Like, we're not doing that anymore. Like, we're not allowing our significant others, and this can be not just for females, male and females, we're not allowing a significant other to take us away from our goals. We're not doing that anymore. Hey, whoever that is, I don't know who you are, but hi, thank you so much for tuning in. We're not allowing our significant others, we're not compromising in the name of having a significant other no more. Like, that's a dead, like, we're self-love. Like, and like, if you're not moving differently than when you didn't have self-love, then it's like, what are you doing? Like, I can say right now, like, my mindset for relationships, platonic and romantic, is completely different than my mindset was when I was in my early 20s. Because in my early 20s, I just wanted to be popular. I just wanted to fit in. And now it's like, I really don't care if I'm popular. I don't really care if I fit in. I know that I have an assignment on my life. I know that I have a message that I have to put forth. I know that there's an audience waiting for my message, and I can't do anything to deter me or to distract me from getting that message across. Like, I have a legacy to build. I have an empire to build. Like, I can't let anyone, in the name of just having someone in my bed, distract me from building my empire and building my legacy, because I can't. And right now, I feel as though, like, I have stuff that's going to I have goals that's going to get accomplished with or without a person. I have a legacy that's going to get built with or without a person. I have an empire that's going to be built with or without a person. So you can either come alone and join Team Nicki, or you can get lost. But like, I'm not about to like dummy down myself in the name of having someone in my bed. I'm not about to lower my standards in the name of having someone in my bed, because like, I'm not scared to be single. Like, I'm not scared to be single, because like, I love myself. Like, I enjoy my time with myself. I enjoy my time with my friends. I enjoy my time with my son. Like, me and my son can be rocking out and chilling all day, and we have like a perfectly good day. I enjoy my time with my family. Like, my happiness isn't necessarily tied to having a significant other. And in my early 20s, I couldn't say that, because I wanted so bad to have that person. I wanted so bad to be a wife. I wanted so bad just to say I have someone, that I let a lot of shit slide. And like, once you start letting stuff slide, people will test your limits to see, okay, she didn't do nothing when I said this, or when I did this, like, she still took me back. And that's why now, like, from the very beginning, from the talking phase, I set boundaries from the very beginning. And then people really be making fun of me, because they was like, oh, you're just talking to that person and you're not talking to them more. Because it's like, no, I'm not about to give you a chance to play in my face. Like, I set boundaries from the beginning. I tell you what I'm going to accept in the beginning. I tell you what I'm not going to accept in the beginning. And like, even you get with it or you're not, but I'm not about to lower my standard. And people will be like, well, this is why you're never going to find no one. This is why you're not going to be you're going to be single forever. Well, let me be the fuck single forever, because there's going to be someone out there. And I feel like there's someone out there for me. You know, future bae, hey, how you doing? I'm coming for you. But there's going to be someone out there who's going to be able to meet all my standards and more. And the more time I waste on these fuckboys who can't measure up, is like, the more time I waste not being able to be with the person that I'm meant to be with. Because call me a hopeless romantic or whatever, but I really do think that like, everyone has a soulmate out there who they're going to spend the rest of their life with. But I feel as though you're really not going to meet you're not going to meet that person until you're ready. Like, because you wouldn't know what to do with that person now. Like, and then that's the thing, a lot of people that are single, that's like really want a spouse, like, if you get married today or tomorrow, if you met your husband, like, you'll probably scare him away, because like, what are you doing? Like, if you haven't took the time to love yourself, if you haven't took the time to undo some of the toxic habit that you have, if you haven't took the time to work on yourself, I don't think you have any business being in a relationship. And that's just me, because people like, well, you can do all that stuff while you're with a person, but you don't want to unnecessarily cause damage to somebody while you're working on yourself. right? And I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing right now. We're just damaging each other, like, because we're not taking the time to work on ourselves. So we're damaging each other, then that person is damaging the next person, and then it's just a vicious cycle. And that's the thing, we get into these relationships, and yes, the person may be different in name, but in character they're the same thing. It's like just a repetition of the same cycle, and we don't understand why the same cycle is keep repeating yourself. Is because you haven't learned your lesson. You haven't learned what you're supposed to learn from that cycle, so you're going to keep repeating the same cycle after cycle after cycle. And I was the same way. Like, why am I keep repeating the same cycle? Why none of my relationships being successful? Why? And we have all these whys, and it's so easy to put the why on the next person, because men ain't shit, men ain't this, men ain't that. But it's like, why you keep treating men that treat you like you ain't shit? Like, why you are like, are you a garbage man? So why you keep dealing with all these men that ain't shit? Like, why are you picking these men to be with? Why are you picking these men as potential spouses? Why are you picking these men to date? And we have to look into ourselves and see why. And sometimes the why is staring back at you when you like, the why is staring back at you when you look in the mirror. The why is like, this is what I seen growing up, so I'm trying to do that. But everybody, it's this new trend of, I want to be a generational curse breaker, like, which is good. You know, that's a good thing to, you know, have. That's a good thought to have in your mind. That's a good thing to aspire to be. But how many of us are really putting into work to make sure that we're breaking these generation curses? How many of us are putting into work to really say all the cliches and all the quotes that we're posting? Because posting quotes on social media is good, but at the end of the day, are you putting in the work? Are you really making sure that you're taking care of your mental health? Are you really making sure that you love someone, so when you come across that person, you get that spouse, you're not going to damage them? Like, how we're looking, I feel like the problem with society is we have so much of our happiness pinned upon another individual. Like, nobody on this earth can make me happy if I'm not happy within myself. I'm not dependent on a man to make me happy. I'm not dependent on no job to make me happy. I'm not dependent on anything that money can buy to make me happy. Because I am happy within myself. I'm complete within myself. Like, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I have inside of me, and I know that there's greatness inside of me. So I know that I can't be around anything that's mediocre at this point in my life. I can't do it. Like, no, it's not going to work for me. Like, dating someone who's mediocre isn't going to work for me. Dating someone who's isn't going to adhere to my status isn't going to work for me. Like, I have a purpose far too greater on my life to just be attached to anything, and that's platonic or relationship. I can't just be attached to anything. I can't just go anywhere. I can't just be associated with anyone, because my brain is too precious. The calling on my life is too precious. My voice is too precious just to be attached to anything, to be treated any type of way, to just be attached to anyone. And I feel like everybody have to have that mindset. Like, are you adding value to my life, or are you just about to add another headache? Because I don't need any more headaches, sweetheart. I don't need another reason to take Advil. I don't need another reason to pop an aspirin or ibuprofen. Like, I need you to be my peace. Like, I don't even need you to be with my peace, because I'm at peace within myself. So I need you to be an addition. Like, I need you to just be there. That's it. That's all. And that's what Sneaky Link is about. Like, again, if you want a fuck buddy and that's all you have to offer, because at the end of the day, like, at a point in my life, like, that's all I wanted, and that's all I felt like I wanted to offer a person at that particular time. So if you're in that season of your life there where you just want a fuck buddy, you want a Sneaky Link, more power to you. Go ahead and get what you want. But if you want more, don't be afraid to go out there and get more. And Nicki D, and let them know that Nicki D said that shit. Like, listen, Nicki D said, I don't have to be a Sneaky Link if I don't want to be a Sneaky Link. I want a relationship. So if all you have to offer me is a Sneaky Link and a remedial dick and a headache, then you have to go. Like, and you can, like, look up YouTube, send them the links to my video. Like, let them know that this is what I require. I require good morning texts, flowers, phone calls, and dates. Like, and if that's too much for you, we don't have nothing to talk about. If my standards are too high for you, then we don't have nothing to talk about. And that's it. That's all. It's a done so. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed the piece, as always, all of my books are available via the link in the bio, Amazon.com or NickiDThePoet.org. Be sure to grab a ticket to my live event that's going on this month, November the 21st. We're going to wind down with Nicki D. We're going to enjoy some good poetry, some good music, some good vibes. And that's it. And be sure to catch my live open mic that I'm doing in conjunction with Nettie Long Poetry that's taking place on November the 12th. The hashtag Former Shy Girls series. Hashtag Former Shy Girls open mic. We're wrapping off this hashtag Former Shy Girls basket full with loads of goodies. So be sure to check me out. Thank you guys so much, and until next time, peace.